Welcome, Philip Selway. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Mark.
Right, and so we've established that you've always been Philip, except...
Well, it was a typo on the first Radiohead album.
Was it?
Pablo Honey.
Right.
Did you curse it when you saw it? Did you know?
Been trying to reclaim the full version ever since. Also, it's handy. I mean, if nobody likes the record, I can say that's Philip Selway. I'm Phil Selway.
It's someone else.
And the new album, Familial, which we've been enjoying immensely, extraordinary cover. People can probably Google this. It's like it is a family who seem to be kind of
woodland creatures kind of thing.
Right,
yeah.
Okay, so what's the story with that image? Was that especially done for the album, or is it an?
It
old
was,
one?
yeah.
Okay.
It's a very, very striking image. Yeah. Is it saying anything in particular, or would you rather not say?
Well, it was done by there's a band called Sleeps and Oysters, two artists, Lisa Busby and John Harris, and I was talking with them about it, just thinking about the kind of things that were going on in the record, and it seemed to tie in nicely. It seemed to lead to the title.
Yeah,
it's the man in the family's got a full beard and dark eyes and all kinds of twigs, and it looks like bits of ravens' wings and butterflies and things. For a long time, I was trying to look through all that and see if it was you under there.
It's me.
It's a bit hirsute for me, I think.
It's kind of good because it's kind of a spooky, creepy take on, I guess, a nuclear family and things like that, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, let's leave it.
You're the intelligent journalist here. I'll go with that.
Let's not let light in on magic, as they say.
So the roots of this album, or in fact you having this kind of solo career, if that's what you want to call it, they stem from that the project with Neil Finn, then, do they? That's where it's kind of roots.
That's where it really came to fruition.
So what happened? Because you and Ed from Radiohead went to take part in that with I forget who else was in it. Neil Finn, Katie Tunstall, and some of Wilco, and
Lisa Germano.
Who's played in this room?
Was Johnny Marr involved?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Right.
Johnny Marr was there.
Johnny Marr was involved, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so you had some songs. You went ostensibly to drum, presumably.
I did, but there are lots of drummers there.
Right, okay.
I was a bit far down on the bench for that one, I think.
Right, and so you had some songs that you started showing people or bringing to the table? Because it was more of a cooperative thing. Was it easier to bring your songs in than with Radiohead?
I did that thing of finding a little spot where everybody had to pass by.
Right.
And so I'd sit there and start playing songs very quietly, just get a little louder as people were going past, and bit by bit people picked up on it. And then I took one of the songs in to play to Katie Tunstall and Big Runga.
Was that The Ties That Bind?
No, it wasn't actually. It was The Witching Hour.
Right.
I think, they kind of humoured me at first about it, and it seemed to be a natural progression to go and record it.
Because I read an interesting quote from you, an amusing quote, where you'd said that it wasn't a case of you saying, "Hey, I've got a song in Radiohead," because you said you thought that would be a cardinal sin.
It is.
For drummers to
just
do
don't do it.
Really?
Mark, you must know this. You don't go in with a song.
No, the drummer never says, "Hey lads, I've got one." No, that never happens, does it?
No, he's shown the door very quickly, I think, on that one.
But you had got loads of songs. I mean, do these songs date back a few years?
I suppose the earliest stuff on here has probably started to come out about 7 years ago. But it's been past 3 years where it's been a collection of songs and finished over that time as well.
And have you always played guitar or is that something you've developed on the road over the past few years?
When I first started drumming, I started playing guitar and I was writing songs then.
Right.
And then, when Radiohead happened, I just wanted to concentrate on the drumming for a while.
Right.
So it was a bit of a rest from songwriting for 15 years.
And how is it being at the front rather than at the back?
Love it.
Great. Well, introduce us to the rest of the crew ahead of a song, please.
Right, we have Caroline Weeks here, and we have Ardem. I should tell you what everybody's playing, actually. Caroline Weeks on keyboards for this song, Ardem on bass, Alex Thomas on drums, who should be number one in the rhythm poll, and Kath Mann, Quinta, on keys as well.
Right, okay. Good to see you all. What are you going to play for us first?
First song is called By Some Miracle.
Okay. Do you know, it was so lovely. I could have done with that going round again.
Me too. I was thinking that, yeah.
We can go again if you like.
No, you can come back again very soon. Yeah.
Absolutely lovely. By Some Miracle, the opening track on Philip Selway's album Familial, and that was live in session. 2 more songs and a show and tell to come. Philip Selway is with us this evening with the whole crew. I mean, you did say in one word that you like being out front. Was that we being disingenuous, or are you really enjoying the change from sitting behind the drums?
Oh no, it's great. I mean, bar the kind of inept ramblings in between the songs.
That's often the trickiest bit, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. But yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, it's fantastic having a great band with you,
Yeah,
and it really appeals to the egomaniac in me. So. What can I say?
Were the rest of the guys surprised? I mean, you'd always, all the time seeing Radiohead, you always seemed kind of happy in your role and in your space. I mean, that's one of the things I love about Radiohead. Nobody was sort of competing. Me and Stuart went to see Robert Plant once.
Nobody
and the
competes in Radiohead.
Well, on stage, that's how it appeared. But that's obviously entirely wrong, is it?
Yeah, we were all at school together.
Right.
Need to say more on that one.
So, but were you always did you always have the urge to? I mean, you didn't even sing in Radiohead, did you?
I've done some backing vocals.
Not live much.
The odd song here and there.
Mm.
No, I didn't really think I could sing until a couple of years ago. So, it's always seemed a bit beyond me. So, but fortunately, as I say, I was going to do the Seven Worlds Collide project. That's really boosted my confidence.
Will that change how you feel when you go back to Radiohead? Do you think? Do you think you had a song? Would it if you had a song idea? Would you feel more confident to take it now after doing this? Or do the old rules come back and apply? Do you think? I suppose you don't know until you get there, do you?
Some very established rules. But you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Tell the next song. You've got the advantage of a microphone. So, would you tell us about you've augmented the instrumentation rather interestingly here?
Kath has now pulled out her DIY bit, and we're going to have a musical saw on this next song.
I love musical saw. Fantastic songs, by the way, Kath. I know this isn't making for great radio with individual toe. What do you call those? Toe.
Like gloves, like fingers
gloves
of
for
gloves.
Feet, fingers, toe fingers, if that's kind of not sort
right.
to say. Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Well, is the musical saw something you have to kind of study and be taught, or do you just experiment with a saw and a bow, Kath?
I learnt it myself, yes.
You learnt it yourself. Are you a string player? Are you right? I suppose that would help, wouldn't it? Right.
Oh, it makes a difference, actually.
Right. Okay. Right.
It's a great instrument.
Yeah.
I love the sound of the musical saw. It's on Hawley's last record. Flatlanders used it brilliantly and stuff like that.
Mercury
so
Rev.
Yeah.
Some musical saw.
Yeah.
The
musical lathe I play at home. Yeah.
It's not that musical. What
It's
I've
rubbish,
heard.
actually. Yeah, but
Right. Okay. Philip, what we're going to have as the next tune?
The next song is called Running Blind. It was the B-side to By Some Miracle.
Okay.
Really gorgeous.
Lovely.
Really gorgeous sound.
Is it a special saw? I mean, is it an ordinary saw from a DIY shop? It looks
They don't have teeth,
long.
do they?
But it is a special musical saw.
Yeah.
Is it right?
You can't use it for cutting anything, can you? It's not got a... Can you? Has it got a serrated edge? Gosh, I thought they didn't have serrated edges, musical saws, no?
Some of them do, some don't.
Yeah, you've got the dangerous one there. You like to live a little, don't you? Yeah.
Musical circular saw. That's the one you want to avoid.
That's absolutely, yeah. That's right.
Great. Really great. You didn't you do a bit of camping, Philip Selway, for Ed O'Brien's stag weekend or something?
We did, yeah. We got lost in the woods down in Devon.
Yeah.
For a whole weekend.
Right. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah, we learned all the woodsman's crafts and everything.
Did you? Nice. It's nice to acquire a foraging skill or two like
Absolutely.
that, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, while we're doing that, then Karen, Chris and Bob and the dogs are in their caravan in Paynton, sipping red wine and eating fresh garlic and herb curd cheese.
Lovely. All right. Yeah. What happens when you finish this? You've got a few. We should say you're doing some festivals, aren't you? You're doing. I think this weekend you're in Ireland.
That's right. Electric Picnic.
Right. Okay.
Then we're playing at Bestival and End of a Road, opening for Wilco for a few shows and doing some of our own shows as well.
Right. London Bush Hall on Monday the 13th is your own
Indeed.
headlining London concert.
If
How
people
grown up.
philipselway.com would be where people look for details.
It would be, yes.
Okay. Indeed. And then, so you do this project. I mean, I'm not wishing it over before it's begun, but then what happens after that is you go back into the Radiohead fold.
That's right. At the end of September, we start again.
Right. When you go and start again, something like that, do you go in and you don't know what's coming, or do tapes and CDs or emails circulate for a few weeks and months beforehand so that you can ingest bits?
Well, with what we're going back to at the end of September, it's what we've been working on for about the past year.
Right.
So we kind of haven't listened to what we've been doing. We just wanted to come back to fresh ears.
Right.
And that's what we do at the end of September.
Right.
Interesting.
Okay. I keep going back to you being the front man, because I was just reading just then actually about the comment that when Radiohead first took off, you actually found it quite difficult to handle being on stage. You sort of developed a stage fright thing.
I did. It was one tour in particular, which was in the autumn of 1993, and from the beginning of the year, we'd been this, fairly unnoticed band travelling around in a transit by the autumn, having a single which was across MTV in the States.
It's a bit creep,
Yeah. And yes, it kind of caught up with me. Suddenly I felt incredibly fraudulent from, it's kind of being in this semi-amateur band at the beginning of the years, and you're supposedly professional band by the end of the year, and to catch up with me on that tour a little bit. Couldn't play for Toffee, it was awful.
Were you?
I was, yeah. Just couldn't coordinate anything, but that's...
Well, the nerves just, as a drummer, the nerves just affected your timing and everything, did they?
Yeah,
Right.
It was for a whole tour.
And did the rest of them notice this but understand what was going on? Or?
Well, they noticed it, but were very understanding.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
When you've played the last song for us, which people have been very really enjoying, lots of tweets and emails and texts about loving the songs that you're doing, you'll be giving us a show and tell, but what's going to be your last song tonight?
Well, it's a move carrying on from that story, actually. It's a song that came out of that. It's called All Eyes on You.
Right, okay. All Eyes on You, Philip Selway's album Familial. So thanks very much to Philip, and also to Ellen and Caroline and Kath and Alex. That all sounded very lovely.
Really, really
Thank
nice.
you.
Really
Indeed.
nice.
Very
You've brought along a show and tell for us, Philip. What is this record? What does it mean to you?
Well, this is the first single that I ever bought. It must have been at a tender age of 12 or so, and it is Message in a Bottle by the Police.
Right.
And it was just that moment when you claim your right to the turntable in the house, in the family house, and I think your first single is that the first bit of independence that you gain, your first bit of your own identity.
Yeah.
And so this record just sums that up for me, really.
Had you seen them on the telly or heard them on the radio or what? Or do you not remember?
I'd heard them on, it would have been Mike Reed at the time, on the Breakfast Show.
Wow. Okay.
Did you ever see the Police? Did you ever go and see them live?
No, unfortunately not.
Did your paths ever cross in the great arena circuits of the world?
No, not yet. No.
Okay. Anyway, great seeing you, and you've also recently uncovered something of our shared past, the foot spa.
The luxury foot spa.
A luxury foot spa.
Yeah, which are one fair and square.
On the breakfast show, I briefly did with Mark Riley on Radio 1 before they saw the light of day. So you won that for knowing the most about Radiohead, I presume, didn't you, in our quiz?
I did. There was a book which came with QGIS recently where we're doing loads of questions on different bands.
Right.
And I did it. And I actually could answer more questions on U2 than I could on Radiohead, sadly.
Really? See, that's how things have changed.
All right. Lovely to see you. And give our regards to the rest of the guys.
I will do.
Thank
Thanks
you all
for
very
having me,
much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming. And here's a show and tell from Philip Selway.